flags are on the side of the cockpit. You see there, his father, of course, former world champion rally driver back for Audi in 1984, who continued competing on a regular basis. Well, he's still doing it now, driving it in historic rallies. I'm Andrew Marriott, with me Dave Richardson, and Dave, we had a cracking first race. Hope this will follow up. There's Lucas Auer.
We did have a cracking race. The conditions so different then, though, Andrew, compared to what these guys are going to face in the early evening now.
There's Lucas Auer, whose uncle is Gerhard Berger, and then Felix Sorales, the Puerto Rican driver, and he had an excellent second place in the first race. Sorales, all the first sons of the Sorales family are called Felix. He's about fourth or fifth even.
Oh, okay.
Then Sven Muller. Yep. And he went very well. He was fourth this morning. Last year, of course, in the old Euro Series regime, we had the Saturday afternoon race was reverse grid. There's Josh Hill, his dad Damon is here to watch over his son, and a third generation driver. Both his father and grandfather were world champions.
Yes.
What a reputation to live up to.
Alex Lynn now. Thumbs up from Alex Lynn. Andrew?
Yep. Well, Lynn has been doing well in this championship. He's with the Prema Powerteam that had a bit of a disaster this morning.
Yes.
Spun off early on. The girls take the boards. See the name there, Tatiana Calderon. She's the only lady in the race.
Dennis van der Laar next.
The young Dutchman, Dutch team running him as well. Van Amersfoort Racing, who've run the likes of, well, pretty well all the best named Dutch drivers over the years. Tend to have gone through them. Back again at Sorales' car. So, getting ready for this race here. Of course, the FIA Formula 3 Championship has gone through a huge renaissance since Gerhard Berger took over. Ruffled a few feathers on the way. Chiva, oh, I like the drinks bottle there.
Yes.
Son of the Indy 500 winner. Lights flashing, so we've got the son of a world champion and the son of an Indy 500 winner, and a man, of course, Eddie Cheever, who was also called Eddie Cheever Jr., had a huge career in Formula One races, never quite won one though.
Felix Rosenqvist, and you can just tell from the eyes, can't you?
Yep, Scandinavian.
Yes.
And Rosenqvist, who was a front runner and winner in this series last year. Remember, we had the complicated situation last year where some of the races counted for the FIA European Championship, all of them that we commentated on counted for the what was then called the Euro Series. At one race, they were also combined with all the British Championship runners. This year, the British Championship will be a mini-series run through the summer, and all the big names are here at Hockenheim, and it's good to see the glory days of Formula 3 are back. But Marciello will be the man to beat again, Dave.
Yes, he will.
Although he is.
Blomqvist showed promise this morning, didn't he? And from his position on the front row of the grid alongside Marciello. Marciello, of course, did make a mistake in his quest to win.
Yeah, it was a spin and a win.
Yeah, it was a spin and a win. He
spoke to him afterwards, and he was trying a new line through that corner.
Yeah.
And as it was drying out a tiny bit, he thought he could use a bit of the green bit. It was painted green bit. You're seeing just right there on the right, the next corner, and there wasn't much grip out there, and he looped the loop, kept it running beautifully, finished up pointing in the right direction, and he lost 3.5 seconds, and by the end of it, I think it was back to almost 20 seconds victory margin.
Good domination, wasn't it?
All these cars look the same to you. That's, of course, they're all the latest Dallara chassis. Teams are allowed to tweak them a little bit. They do slightly different aero developments to them, but the Dallara wind tunnel's pretty effective actually as they go off on the warm-up lap. So
different engines though, Andrew, aren't
yeah,
they?
3 different engines here, Volkswagen and Mercedes, and a couple of Nissans which have been privately developed. Well, the young Nissan protege, Jan Mardenborough, strangely enough, is running with a Volkswagen engine and funded by Nissan. Because the Nissan engines are a different proposition. Jan, who's raced the Nissan GT car last year. I know that Darren Cox of Nissan, who runs their racing operations, got huge hopes for the man who came through that PlayStation GT Academy and beat, I think it was 90,000 others a couple of years ago.
Here's the grid then, Marciello and Blomqvist row 1, then it's Auer and Sorales, Sven Muller, Josh Hill, Alex Lee and Dennis van der Laar. Then we see Eddie Cheever and Felix Rosenqvist on the next row. Kvyat, then the Russian, Jordan King, then Tinknell and Buller, Nissani, Gilbert, Latifi and Grenagan, and Louis Felipe Durrani down there, and the rest of the grid coming through there.
All the way to 29 cars, and we're hearing at Brands Hatch there might be 31. We've got one team that hasn't come to this race. It's got a couple of drivers that we saw at Monza in the opening round. Remember, we've raced at Monza at Silverstone in this championship already this season, and one of them is Michelle Cerruti, the lady driver who's had a win in the Superstars, I believe, or one of the categories. She's got a drive in an Italian touring car this weekend, and their other driver thereby not able to come. So we might see them again, I'm told, and there might be so the team that runs Blomqvist, the Eurointernational team. We've got a second car, and there's word that might also have a driver, so it could be up to even 32 cars at Brands Hatch around that little circuit. Yes. It's going to be pretty busy. Here's Marciello then, the Italian colours on the side of the car, backed by the Ferrari Academy, just 18 years old. Swiss born, but by chance really. He's Italian by nationality, and based now in Ferrari land at Modena. Track temperature 24.2, air temperature 16.6, and Dave, for the first time all day we can now see some blue sky.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll have a nice clean race here. Everybody on the Hankook slicks, which came in last year, and now we are lined up. Always difficult to start these cars with their little flywheels, and they have a sort of handbrake affair, and rather like the DTM to sort of preload them up on the handbrake and try and get a nice launch. Marciello's been pretty handy at that. Do you see the odd stall in Formula 3? And look at that, cars all the way back. I think 13 last year, or was it 14? Lights, 3, 4, 5. Extinguish and fire off, and Marciello makes another brilliant start down into that first corner. Sud curve. And a couple going wide, but no real incidents. We've got drivers from all over the world, from Australia, from Israel, from Indonesia, Brazilians, all kinds here. But Marciello, what a great drive he had this morning. All right, he had that spin, but just recovered so well from furious outbraking here. Josh Hill very nearly got punted up the gearbox, but didn't. We've got a shunt of those, the Indonesian driver, one of the two. The team, the Double R team, that's backed by the Indonesian Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise, have got 2 cars, and that's Mardenborough.
Mardenborough's out.
Oh, disappointment, and Lucas Wolf is out, and Spike Goddard is involved. I think he had an incident in the first race.
Safety car coming out, Andrew.
Safety car out, yeah. See those orange cars of the Muka Motorsport team, or Lucas Wolf's cars pushed away, and so Marciello having got a great start, has got to do it all again.
Well, and interestingly there, you know, the cars got out of the way quickly, weren't they?
Oh, very quickly. What happened here? Oh, it happened back. Oh, yeah, it was the yellow car, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Was that the Indonesian driver, or was that their Italian team member?
Let's have a look here.
See how Josh Hill was very nearly rammed, or maybe he was.
Yeah, and that was Sven Muller doing
Sven
the
Muller
ramming, wasn't it?
And then we had this incident flying over. Oh, nasty incident there. And yeah, it was the
Giovinazzi, that was.
Yeah, the Italian teammate to our 16-year-old Indonesian driver. Well,
just the time mark on the cockpit there.
Yeah, safety car. Well, you know, got his pipe going as well. Do you know, years ago, there was a bloke called Harry Ratcliffe who I saw racing at Rothers in a Morris Minor smoking a pipe.
Well, there we have it.
Yeah, but those were days long ago.
Yes.
I don't think you'd right. Here's the.
So this is Spike Goddard in then, wingless as he is now.
Yeah, and to Russell Escott's team goes to
I
work.
That's the. Because the wing had to be replaced on Spike's car this morning, didn't it?
Yeah. 3 Bond Nissan, it says. 3 Bond is a Japanese company that supports T-Sport. And they make special adhesives for the Japanese automotive industry.
There's Mardenborough's car being lifted out of the way.
Yeah, disappointment for him. His dad, of course, was a professional footballer for various different teams, including Swansea, I think, at one stage. And I think he started his career with Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux ground. So here was the start, just a great start there by Marciello.
Yeah. He loaded that perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah.
Loaded that.
Giovinazzi's under investigation for that incident. So I think he might get a slap on the wrist or a fine.
Sorales diving from side to side there, hounding down Lucas Auer at the start, the replay of which we're seeing now.
Remember, this is a timed race, so now we've got 31 minutes remaining, so they may not make the targeted number of laps, which I think was 22, wasn't it, Dave? I think that was the number. And so there's Josh Hill, just got a little wake-up call. Don't think any damage done. And there's Italian going flying of his own volition.
There's drivers walking away, Mardenborough there. So
I'm not sure on that gaming on the PlayStation. I'm a bit old for the PlayStation, whether you get to walk away like that if you have a shunt. I think you just press reset, don't you, and off you go again.
Start again.
You've got a son who must have a PlayStation, have you, Dave?
Two sons that both have various gaming devices, and
yeah.
Do you know what?
Go on.
I keep right away from it.
Do you?
Yep. Because I just it takes the magic away from me.
Yeah. So that boy that caused that accident, Antonio Giovinazzi, was racing in China last year in the Formula Pelota series. But, well, big error of judgment, I'm afraid.
Lights still on the safety car, so...
Tinknell in 14th place, who's started the season so well. King, another Brit there in 12th. Kvyat, the Russian, and he will start in pole position tomorrow. The second part of the qualifying, split into two. The second part of it counts for tomorrow's grid, and Kvyat was absolutely mighty in that. The man who's come from Russia but now lives in Milton Keynes, making his debut in this championship with the 5th Carlin car.
So lights out.
Yep.
Safety car coming in this lap. That means we'll be back away and racing, and Marciello then will effectively, when the safety car draws in and out of the way, it'll be down to Marciello to pace the restart effectively, and he will need to get away.
And there they go.
And Blomqvist is going to be under pressure here from Auer.
Yep, Auer's pushing hard.
Can't do anything until they cross the start-finish line, of course, Andrew. Can be penalised for that, can't you?
Here they go. I think now it's a safety car line. Earlier than that, it's a safety car line. And we had an issue with that at Silverstone, where the man who was leading the pack didn't realise where it all started, and he got overtaken when he was at the lead of the race because he didn't realise where you could start racing it. It was a safety car line. So anyway, we're off again with Marciello in the lead.
And
Tom Blomqvist under attack from Auer.
Hill is looking good as well, Andrew.
Yeah, he's challenging Sorales. There's the Red Bull colours.
So Hill now into P4, or is he?
Yeah, yes he is. Mussey's in the right position for that corner. He's going to take P4. And Josh Hill.
Good showing from Josh then.
Remember, he hasn't raced a Formula 3 car prior to this season. Raced in Renault 2.0 NEC series last year, where he was a front runner. Lots of battles with Jordan King. And in fact, some of those races, 7 of them won by Kvyat, the Russian who's making his Formula 3 debut. Well, Kvyat might have been in front of Hill and King last season, but it's a different story now. But expect great things tomorrow from Kvyat.
Yes, from that pole position tomorrow.
Yeah, he's up to 10th. He's moved up one place. Lynn in 9th. Ed Jones making his Formula 3 debut this weekend. FIA Formula 3 debut. He races in the Spanish series. The Dubai-born Brit. He's down in 23rd at the moment. And Michael Lewis, the American, 22nd. And Marciello, fastest first sector, and a huge lock up for the German driver Sven Muller. And getting a bit hectic at the back, look.
Yes.
There's our Indonesian driver in the KFC car. He's only 16 years old. Can you imagine that, coming over from India? He was rallying when he was 13.
Remarkable.
There's Wolf. Wolf got away with that incident. You know, somebody fly over the top of him pretty well. Marciello, just have a look at his last lap. And he took a second out of Blomqvist on that lap. This boy has got class. And as we said in the morning race, I'm sure he's going places. Last year, of course, after the first couple of rounds, he led this championship. And then he had a bit of a patch where it had some problems.
Yep.
Bad qualifying in one race he got taken off. Not his fault. And look at Josh Hill looking pretty racy,
yes,
isn't he?
Is. Yeah. Auer
looking good.
That,
Josh Hill. And Hill's going to maybe attack Auer. Again, the Prema Powerteam, this Italian squad. One of the best Italian racing teams. And very well run from northern Italy. A bit of audacious move there by Kvyat. But it didn't work, I don't think. He's trying to carve his way through. Watch for the 51 car.
Jordan King.
Right, he's right on the back of Rosquist now,
yes, he is.
Orange car. Yeah, as you said, past Jordan King. Doesn't count for points. He's not registered for points. We don't know if he's going to do the rest of the season or not. That will depend on Dr. Helmut Marko at Red Bull. Trevor Carlin would certainly like him to. Carlin's really hot on this Russian kid. Well, see the 24 car now, there's a bit of a twitch on, coming under pressure from Hill.
So playing out as bit as it did this morning, Andrew, with Marciello being able to get away there.
That was the move by the... Oh, did he lose a bit?
Yeah, something got lost there.
Did he lose a bit of his wing? I think maybe he did. The left front part of his wing. To check that out.
Marciello goes fastest lap with a 1:34.104.
Marciello starting to pull away.
2.8 seconds he has.
Muller, the red and white car. As Marciello goes through. See the two posts that hold the front wing on those Prema cars have all got different colours.
Yeah.
So you've got to try and remember the yellow is Marciello, but we know he's Marciello because he's at the front of the field.
Yes.
Blomqvist still second. Auer coming under pressure from Hill.
I think Hill is more under pressure now, perhaps.
Yeah, he's dropped back a bit, and then
Sorales, to be honest, but it's interesting how...
and then we got Dennis van der Laar, who, I mean, looking back at what he's done this season, a 9th to 10th retirement, and at Silverstone, I think it was a 17th to 12th in a retirement, nowhere near the points, and he's really moved up. We saw Dennis van der Laar the end of last season here at Hockenheim when...
just saw Grenhagen going off onto the grass then, managed to hold it together though and get back on safely. So Marciello, Blomqvist, Auer, Hill, Sorales, van der Laar, Muller, Lin, the top 8 as you can see on the screen right now. Then we see Rosenqvist, King, Kvyat, Buller, Chiva, Durrani, Tinknell, and Buller so needs to have a good season this season, Andrew, and today is not been impressive.
No, well...
Down there in
Tinknell
P12
in 15th place. And, I thought Tinknell might be a bit further up. Running another Carlin car, 5th in the British Formula 3 Championship last year, the boy from Exeter. Had a win at Silverstone, and here he is out of the points.
Yeah.
Sani, the Israeli driver. That was Wolf just
diving up,
taking a place. Latifi, who went so well at Silverstone, right down in 20th place, the Canadian driver. Gilbert from Australia in 16th.
So there's Lucas Auer that we're watching at the moment. Lucas Auer in the 3rd place, Tom Blomqvist ahead of him in 2nd, and then some 3.2 seconds up the road, our race leader, Raffaele Marciello. Now there is Josh Hill, we just saw in shot there as we see this pack. There's P2, then 3, 4. And after Sorales, a bit of a gap back then, if you like, to van der Laar, Andrew.
You got to be a little bit careful of these particularly rear tyres that do grain up a little bit. So we saw a lot of that at Silverstone. Hockenheim's not as abrasive as Silverstone, but you do have to look after. Once they grain up, you lose a lot of grip. So you've got to be a little gentle with them, which means you can't push that hard at the beginning. So Marciello, just as he was this morning, out in the lead, but now it's just 3.6 seconds. There's Muller and Lin, battle for 7th and 8th places. And Muller, we saw him in this championship last year. Chiva down in 17th place, David. He had a good starting position, so I'm not sure what happened to him.
Very wayward there was Grenhagen.
2 of the Mucker cars running together. Rosenqvist.
There is Grenhagen then.
Yeah. And so the Russian just not making any progress now. Down in 10th place behind Rosenqvist, who was a winner in this championship last year. Very experienced in Formula 3 now. Marciello, you see how he's just opened out the lead by another 0.7 a second behind, in front of Tom Blomqvist. Blomqvist with Red Bull backing, driving for the Antonio Ferrari Eurointernational team, who are new to Formula 3, and that's impressive that they can find all the tweaks that are necessary to get a car in the perfect state to come round Hockenheim quickly.
So there is Tom.
Yeah, he's under a bit of pressure from Auer. Auer still under some pressure from Hill and Sorales. And lengthening shadows here. And look at this move. Auer really pushing hard. Gerhard Berger is here today.
Oh,
what happened there?
Well,
the Hill right behind
Hill
him.
just waited and pounced then.
Yeah.
And
what a move.
It was a perfect move.
What a brilliant move.
I so hope we see a replay.
Want to see that again in replay.
That was fantastic.
The other two were too busy.
They were fighting among themselves, and Josh just saw the opportunity and seized it.
Sorales is right there. Well, remember his dad in the Cellnet Formula 3 car all those years ago, and he was on the podium regularly. Well, you might have Josh Hill on the Formula 3 podium the way this is going, and that'd be...
Sorales now getting past Auer. So desperately need to see that in replay to see how that happened. Here we go, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, he put himself in the right place. He had lots of speed going for him as well, didn't he?
But Blomqvist ran a bit wide, didn't he? He took Auer with him also, and that was just enough for Josh to take advantage of that. Brilliant move.
Well, there's a lot of Hill fans in the UK from many generations.
Yes.
Dave, whether it be Graham Hill or Damon Hill, and how fantastic to have a third generation right up there and a top Formula 3 championship like this. It's one thing young Hill doing well in Formula Ford or Renault, but this is a whole different ballpark. You know, this is, you're only a couple of steps away from Grand Prix racing
here. Look at this
here.
battle, Andrew, between these two. Auer and Sorales absolutely bouncing off the sides of each other. It's incredible.
And the Dutchman right there as well now.
Pretty sure there was just a gesture out of the cockpit from one of those cars just a moment ago, because they were running absolutely side by side. And yeah, you're quite right then. Van der Laar is, again, he's there ready now to, if they're going to continue squabbling, he wants to pick up any pieces that he can. We reach half distance in this race, Andrew, and it's beginning to liven up quite nicely.
Certainly is, but Marciello is doing what he did before. He's lengthened the gap to 6.6 seconds. Meanwhile, the battle for second, third and fourth, because probably slowed them up a little bit, paying attention to each other. Wonder what Josh Hill can do now, get his head down. And, way off there.
Yeah. Oh, and that's that was the Sorales. I thought I saw a hand out of the cockpit.
Grenhagen has been shown the black and white flag for leaving the track. And Hill, of course, driving for Richard Dutton's Fortec team, whom he raced last year as well. Been to their facility in Daventry, excellent workshop there, run by Richard Dutton.
Sorales having to defend hard now from the attentions of Dennis Van der Laar, Andrew.
Yeah, Van der Laar going well. He's found out how to row one of these Formula 3 cars along, the Discovery Channel back car.
And Alex Lynn in there.
Any changes further down the field? Tinknell still in 14th. And Buller has gone back past the Russian, Kvyat. Rosenqvist still in 10th, King in 9th, Muller 8th and Lynn 7th. They're behind this batch. Galil, the Indonesian, down there towards the back of the field.
Looks like Roberto Merry walking away there, Andrew.
That's Roberto Merry, yeah. Well, we often saw him on the Formula 3 pit wall last year supporting young Cadella. Now they're both in the DTM. And Hill's pulled a bit of a gap out over Blomqvist. He's pulled away.
Yes, he has.
And now he's...
What's Marciello got?
Yeah, he's
6, nearly 7 seconds, hasn't he?
Yeah,
up the road.
Pretty well matching Marciello, 10th of a second for 10th of a second.
Is he?
Auer just put the fastest first sector in. Gone Purple has Auer on the first sector.
We're watching Sorales on screen now, down there in P5.
As he's shaking off Van der Laar, there's Van der Laar.
And on Van der Laar now
there's
is
Lynn.
Alex Lynn.
Somebody's getting a penalty here.
This will be for Grenhagen, do you think?
I would have thought so, yeah.
So 6.5 seconds Marciello has.
Well, she's on the run now. That's what she is, a runner. Says it right on her.
There is our race leader then, Raffaele Marciello then, doing exactly what he did this morning, Andrew.
Yeah.
And look at the gap.
6.5 seconds, that is.
There's Josh Hill then.
So that last lap, Hill was matching him just a bit quicker than Marciello that last lap. There's the 7-car Muller going through.
So Jordan King, then Felix Rosenqvist, then Will Buller.
Yeah, Rosenqvist will be disappointed with this. You know, he knows this track so well.
Yeah.
I would have thought he would be right at the front. He won and had the one win at Silverstone. Came into this weekend second in the championship. I think he's not going to maintain that. Marciello is going to, though, pull away further. This is the 8th Formula 3 race of the season. 3 races, full-length races this year at each of the rounds. And next time out they'll be at Brands Hatch, and then they move on to Austria. There's Will Buller. But no, the reason why Hill is so impressive is he's got no experience these Formula 3 cars other than the testing they've done at the start of the season, and the deal was done late as well, so he missed some of the testing and has not driven a Formula 3 car before this season, where all the people around him have, although only towards the end of the season.
And there is Josh Hill.
Yep. But Marciello, I think, has got this pretty well in command.
Yes, barring any problems, he's again built up that comfortable lead, hasn't he?
He has. He was saying after the race this morning that he's learned from his lessons last year, and when he hasn't got the perfect setup, rather than try and push too hard and make mistakes, he's going to settle for the odd 3rd and 4th place and think to the championship. Of course, he's got an outstanding start to it because he's going to have lots of points in the bag over the rest of the rivals. And of course, the fact that Hill is right there taking points off his closest rivals.
Yes. 7 seconds Marciello has now, and then Hill has a full 1.9 over Blomqvist.
Yes,
so Hill is doing a great job out there, but it's just too much to haul in Marciello, isn't it?
Blomqvist came into this weekend, I think, in 9th place in the championship. So it's Cheever in 17th. He's gone backwards from the grid. The other American, Lewis, in 21st.
Oh, and a spinner there.
Yeah, that's the 16-year-old Sean Galil from Jakarta in Indonesia.
Gets it going once again.
He was racing in China last year as well. Best result so far this season was a 14th.
Just cooked it over that. That hurt, I reckon.
Yeah. I wonder what that. What's that in Indonesian? Dave, down the side.
I don't know, Andrew.
Well, there's the Colonel on the side of the car. He's going to have some sponsorship from Pepsi as well.
So there, our race leader, Raffaele Marciello, then looking very comfortable out front there in the early evening sunshine here at Hockenheim. Andrew, this is the second of 3 F3 races across the course of this DTM weekend here.
Yeah, we had a very busy afternoon with a Porsche Carrera Cup race and a Volkswagen Sirocco Cup race. And now bringing it to a conclusion will be this Formula 3 race. It's now got just 7 minutes remaining, or the 4 laps, whichever, 6 laps I should say, whichever comes the sooner. King in 9th, Rosenkistel in 10th place. Here's a nice slow-mo shot. And, look at that aero package on the front of the Dallara. Marciello, 6 feet tall, but it doesn't sit that high in the cockpit.
No.
There's his pit
Lello
board,
P1.
plus, yeah, and +7. It's one of those pit boards have been the same for 40 years, more or less. I mean, they got plastic numbers. We used to have metal numbers years ago. Well, when I started racing, we used to chalk on a board, actually. But I think it was a guy called Les Leston introduced those pit boards, raced a little bit in Formula 1.
Is
died
Pippo
recently.
Durrani going off, I think, Andrew?
Yeah. Oh, big lock-up.
Yeah,
and
that's Durrani.
Yeah, Durrani, I thought he would go better. You know,
There's just no way he was going to make that.
He was a good runner in British Formula 3 last year, the Brazilian. He's not shining yet. And those boys that go through that smoke will smell that. They'll smell the hand-cooked burning rubber up their nostrils. Go right inside their crash helmet.
So 7.4 seconds is what Marciello has over Hill in second place. Hill, meantime, comfortably ahead of Blomqvist.
He's pulled well away from Blomqvist, hasn't he? Yeah.
Full 2 seconds over Blomqvist in third. Then it's Auer, then it's Sorales. Chalkboard.
Grenhagen 17th. Cheever 18th. Wolf 19th. The guy run by the little URD team. And here we are. Look at Marciello. Look at that lead. And, the Prema Powerteam. There they are again. Out front. Won the championship with Junkerella last year, with Merry the year before. But there was a long drought before that. Here's Hill. They have about 200 horsepower, these engines. We've got Marciello with Mercedes power, and we've got Hill. I think he's on Mercedes power as well, isn't he? With the
yes, he is. I was just looking.
Yeah, with Dutton's team.
I was reading somewhere, I'm sure, Andrew, as we watch this replay here.
Well, that's Wolf trying to outbrake the 25 car of Cheever.
I recall at Nürburgring last year with the Nissan car that the Nissan engine that 3-Bond run, Sim took a reverse grid, I think, win.
At the time he won the reverse grid race.
Yeah, and there was talk that the Nissan engine was very, very good, and I'm perhaps a bit disappointed that we've not seen more of.
Well, it's not.
But it's not a manufacturer's engine, is it, Andrew?
It's a Tomei company, who are a long-established Japanese tuning company.
Yeah.
But it's not got Nissan money behind it.
Right.
and Mercedes and HWA work away at their engine. Volkswagen work away at their engine. Volkswagen also, a couple of years ago, tried to develop Dallara for their team, try and get a bit more out of it aerodynamically. There's the 29 car going through of Roy and Nissani.
Just ahead of him was Latifi, who got a little bit of a wobble on going in.
Yeah. Nissani is from Tel Aviv, as a student there, university student.
It's actually Gilbert that got that wobble on that I was concerned with. Those distinctive orange colours now, Andrew.
Mitch Gilbert raced in the German Formula 3 Championship last year. Still some fans stayed on to see these young tyros, and they're probably seeing a couple of drivers at least will make it to Formula 1. Remember that over half the grid of the current Formula 1 grid have come out of this championship.
You'll note that at the top of your screen, it's gone from laps to time now.
Yep.
We've got just 2.5 minutes remaining, or just under, of this second of the three Formula 3 European Championship races across the opening DTM weekend here at Hockenheim. This is the third race event, if you like, for this championship. They've already been to Monza and Silverstone.
Where Marciello had 2 wins at Monza, a win at Silverstone, as he learnt a track he'd never been to before, but won the 3rd race there. There is Hill, with by far the best result of his young career, our 3rd. And, well, Peter Mucker will be on the edge of his seat. I want these two to hit each other.
And that's down there in, well, the argument is over 15th place, I think.
Yeah.
Gilbert and Nissani.
Nissani's just 18 years old. His dad, Chanok, did quite a bit of racing. So, 2nd generation. Nissani was racing out here in Germany last year in the Formula Masters. Had 1 win, I think. Marciello, though, is heading towards another win here as we just follow the 2 Mucker cars and their new sponsor, also one of the main sponsors of the DTM now. Final lap, and what a day for Lello Marciello.
Yes, he's had a good one, and to be fair, this afternoon's drive from Marciello has been jolly near faultless, Andrew.
It has. He's done all the right things here.
And very, very impressive driving from Josh Hill, though.
Yeah, Mother Georgie is going to be happy as well.
You know, Hill off of, was he P6 on the grid?
Yep.
Up into 2nd place. Amongst drivers that have, you know, the likes of Blomqvist and Seralis and such like that have been in this championship for a while, Andrew.
But by far his best, it was 8th, it was his best previous Formula 3 result at Monza. And the checkered flag falls on Lello Marciello. The tall Italian teenager takes a 2nd win here at Hockenheim. Josh Hill, the 3rd generation British driver, finishes 2nd, best ever result. Blomqvist finishes 3rd, our 4th. Then it's Seralis. Van der Laar has his best result in Formula 3 to come home in 6th place. Sean Lynn is 7th. Muller, King and Rosenqvist are the top 10. Then it's Buller, the Russian driver. Kvyat finishes in 12th place. Interesting to see what he will do tomorrow off the pole. Then Tinknell, a disappointed 13th, ahead of Durrani and Gilbert, Nissani, Grenhagen, Wolf, Cheever, and the rest of the finishers. See flags waved, just see Zeller finishing. But there is Marciello. Fist comes out of the cockpit. Just look at the diffuser there at the back. The rain light, that's that triangular LED light there. But you'll see if Hill is celebrating. Came up through the Ginetta Junior Championship and Formula Ford.
Yeah, he looks pretty pleased with himself, Andrew. And deservedly so.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Dad will be down there to congratulate him. And we like dynasties, don't we? Third generations. A few of them, of course, the Andrettis, I think the Onzas in America. This is the first major motor racing dynasty, I suppose, in the UK. But it puts a lot of pressure on him.
And it's interesting, the point you made earlier, Andrew, is the fact that, we don't often see Damon because of other commitments that he has, but he is here this weekend. And
I was speaking on the phone the other day to the former British Grand Prix winner, John Watson, and he said, "I don't put too much pressure on Josh. No, he's got to find his feet in Formula 3. I'd say, well, look at that, John, he's found his feet. Rennie Rossin from the Prema Powerteam, mastermind of that team. We've got a great group of engineers there as well. Really know how to make these Dalaras work. You see the barge boards on the side. Nice shot looking down there. And all the DTM trucks lined up behind the main pits block. And then further back is the Formula 3 paddock.
Confirmation of the result then, Marciello taking the win from Josh Hill in second place. Blomqvist, Auer, third and fourth, then Seralis, Van der Laar, Alex Lynn, then P7, Sven Muller, 8, Jordan King, 9, and Felix Rosenqvist then taking P10. Then we see Buller just out of the points then in 11, Kvyat, Tinknell, Pippo Durrani, Gilbert, Nassani, Grenhagen, Lucas Wolf, Eddie Cheever, Andre Rudersdorf then down there in P20, and the rest of the pack there. Again, like this morning, Andrew, we only lost a couple of cars.
We lost a couple again. Calderon didn't mention her much, running near the back of the field. And let's see what goes on here. And the traditional banging of the barriers. The boys from Prema have done that a few times, but the boys from Fortec haven't. Pretty cool character.
Yes.
Marciello, quietly spoken. And I see how tall he is. He's not your classic little Formula 3 jockey.
No.
Goes over to the team. Engineer, Rennie Rossin, mechanics. See the little nice little touch there, the Italian flag on the side of the tear off.
Yeah.
On the visor. No problems at all, he's saying. Car was going beautifully. Tyres went up. A bit worried about him at the end. You know. I want to see Josh Hill with his helmet off, see if he's still got that granddad moustache. I don't know, he's old enough to shave, really. So, Blomqvist there, another good result from Tom. Number 20 car from the Eurointernational team, from the Fortec team from Daventry in England. Josh Hill gets his best result. But no doubt about the winner here again this evening. Well, there's Josh's sponsor getting some good exposure. Upper Cap. I think that's a capital investment fund. Haven't heard from them about what they do. And then Marciello, see that Italian flag that typifies those cars from Prema Powerteam. And Ferrari watching him very closely. Within a few minutes, I'll have a tweet I expect from Ferrari saying that he's won the race. It shows how closely they're watching. You see that airbox. Yeah, another shot of the 30 car of Hill. There is Damon. I wonder what he's thinking. Damon presented the awards at the end of the first race. I wonder if he'll be doing it again.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be Nico Rosberg.
Right. Okay.
I think.
Think you've seen a piece of paper, Dave?
No, I haven't.
Oh, right.
I swear. There's Marciello then, and the mustachioed.
Yes. Yeah. There's Dad gives him the thumbs up.
The mustachioed Josh Hill, and then Tom Blomqvist.
Yeah. A little bit perspiration on the face of Tom Blomqvist. You know, we know his dad is a rally driver, of course, but he's a pretty good racing driver as well.
Yes.
They did quite a lot of racing. So we hear the Italian national anthem again. More banging of the barriers.
Yep.
Hankook hats go on. And a different engineer from Prema up there this time. And yeah, you're right, Dave. I buy the beer. Still think you saw a piece of paper.
I didn't. I saw it out the window.
And Jackie X, great to see him here.
Didn't know he was here, Andrew.
No, I didn't. We've seen him around in the past. His daughter, Vanita, great Le Mans winner, of course, winner of the Dakar Rally, superb as a very young driver in Formula One. And here's Nico Rosberg again. What a thrill to get the awards from these great drivers, past and present. And yeah, you can just see the delight in Damon's eyes, can't you? I think this gentleman's from, oh, it's Jackie X again, yeah. Now, we go through all the normal parts of this ceremony. So, Marciello pulls further away in the championship. I haven't done a quick calculation on the points.
Which is unusual, you normally do.
Usually do, yeah, so a bit early in the season for that. And
well, one thing's
it
for
would
sure.
have been skewed around quite a bit by that. Photographer once more. Anya's going to drag him off to the press conference. Rosberg goes back with more congratulations. And Nico Rosberg, of course, did race in this championship in the past.
Look at that
Here
lead.
is the points.
Look at that lead.
Yeah, over double anybody else. Rosenqvist hangs on in second place. Hour is joint with him. Tinknell, no points, I think, now. In that race, 73. Alex Lynn, 65. Sorales, Blomqvist, Wehrlein. And then, of course, he got those points from Monza. He won't be scoring any more. And Hill up into 9th, and Buller with 35 in 10th place. But look at Marciello, 156 and a half. One of the races half points at Monza. And Felix Rosenqvist on 75. So,
remarkable race, Andrew.
Yeah, well, great to see Hill have his best ever result. Marciello showing his class again. Now the big question is, he did this last year, but this year, can he keep his momentum going? Has he learned those lessons? And I suggest he has. And he's going to take a huge amount of beating in this championship. So that's about it from The Formula 3 racing here at Silverstone. Dave Richardson and Andrew Marriott bringing you all the action, and we're going to take our leave of you and say goodbye, good evening, and so long, Dave.
See you tomorrow for another F3 race here at Hockenheim.
Tomorrow morning. That's it from us.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye until the next time.